Welcome back to Tabletop Tinkerer. Here's the tabletop and I'm the Tinkerer. And guys, digital tools are just better than physical ones. They just are. And I'm tired of having the conversation about whether or not they are, because they just simply are. There is no argument to be made that the physical tools are better than the digital ones. They just are not. And the digital ones are, in fact, better. Now, I prefer, just as you do, the physical ones. I like holding the dice in my hands. I like throwing them down the dice tire, watching them go down in and making the sound as they bounce off the sides and then into the dice tray and bouncing around in there and all the clickety-clacks. I love the clickety-clacks. You like the clickety-clacks, I like the clickety-clacks, she likes the clickety-clacks, he likes the clickety-clacks. Everybody likes the clickety-clacks. But they slowed down the game. And it's not even just the dice. It's everything that goes into what we're doing to play the game. If you scour YouTube and the web for advice on how to improve your D&D game, a lot of them are going to include ways to speed it up, ways to go faster. Digital tools do that at every single step. Again, I'm with you. I prefer the physical ways, but if we're trying to have a fast, efficient game where we're trying to respect the other players at the table as much as possible, then we need to use the digital tools. We just simply do. That's all there is to it. There's no argument to be made. When it comes to rolling dice, you can spend the time. This right here takes time. You throw the dice. You wait for him to land, you figure out the number, you add up the total, then finally you have the number. The digital tool, the digital character sheet on your VTT or D&D Beyond or whatever you're using, you click a button, maybe there's a dice animation, it does the calculations for you like that, and you have your answer and you move on about your day. It's that much of a difference. Even describing it was so much faster, and that wasn't even a little bit exaggerated. That is probably about the difference in time that it's going to be. If not, the difference in time is going to be greater, not less. I might be exaggerating this to minimize it, not to extravagate it. Rulings. You could open a physical book and try to find the right ruling. Oh, I'm in the wrong book. Close it. It's actually in the player guide. Nope, actually, there's a whole book of spells that's in. Let me put that over here because they released this new ruling on how spells should work with this action economy. Now you found it. And it took you forever. Or you could go to a search bar or Google or anything and just type in what you're looking for. Boom, you have the answer just like that. Bam, you might still have to read it. Let me correct that. You will still have to read it. But you're not thumbing through books and trying to find the right page, and then trying to find the ruling, and then reading the ruling, and then interpreting it. You're finding the ruling, you're interpreting the ruling after you've read it, and then you move on about the day. Maybe a brief discussion at the table. Brief. Spells. Same thing as rulings. You got to look it up. All the things. Plus, with a lot of these things, spells, items, etc., you click the item and spell, and it just goes to the table in the VTT, and everybody can just see what's going on and know and be on the same page. You don't necessarily have to read it out loud or speak about it because you just share it. And then everybody can look at it and see it for themselves. And then if there's a problem, go, hey, wait, hold on a second. Just real quick, wanted to point this out, and then everybody moves on. It's all about the speed of the game. If we're playing the game, if there's more game to be played, we're having more fun. If we're slowing down the game, there's less time to play because we're spending time doing things to get to the playing of the game. The digital tools allow us to skip all that and just get right to the playing of the game. How can you have fun playing the game if you're not playing the game? I'm sorry, I don't know if you enjoy watching people flip through books and find rules. I do not. I don't know a lot of people that would. Maybe you do, and that's okay. And if you guys want to have that type of game at your table, that is totally fine. It's your table, it's your game, but everybody needs to be on the same page. Hey, this is going to take longer, and there is an option where we could speed it up, but we really enjoy this part of it, so we're going to accept that it's going to take longer, and we're going to have less time to play the game. That is totally fine. But you can't tell me that playing the game less is more fun than playing the game more, which the digital tools will allow you to do by removing dead time in the game that you no longer have to spend by just doing the work for you. Hands down, the digital tools are better than the physical ones. Now, I prefer the physical. I'm with you. I like rolling the dice and doing that stuff, etc. You know where that's a lot of fun and doesn't get in the way and adds to the experience? The prep work. You're being more meticulous with the prep work. You're spending the time. Unless you're crunching to get a one-shot done or a session done with like an hour to go, there's more time to be had in the prep work. It's fun to flip through a book. I like physically flipping through a book and finding the tables and looking through it, thumbing through it, acting like a librarian, trying to discover what it is I need to find in the book. I like rolling the dice. Whenever I roll for a character, or if I try to roll up something for an NPC, or if I do a random thing, I use a physical dice. It's okay and enjoyable in the prep work. Same for your making a character as a player. And it makes a lot more sense. But when we're playing the game, we want to play the game. We don't want to be doing a bunch of other things, because if we're doing other things, we are by definition not playing the game. So it's settled. There's no argument here. If you choose to go with the physical, that is fine, and you're not wrong to do so, as long as everybody's on the same page and accepting of the fact that it's going to take longer, and they're cool with that. But which is better? Digital.